The signal from the void. In the year 2147, humanity had finally clawed its way out of the cradle of Earth. The scars of the resource wars still lingered, continents reshaped by nuclear fire, populations decimated, and a fragile unity forged in the aftermath. But from those ashes rose a new era. Fusion drives propelled colony ships to Mars, Europa, and beyond. The United Earth Directorate, UED, oversaw it all, a sprawling bureaucracy that balanced corporate greed with military might. Space was no longer a dream. It was a frontier, teeming with opportunity and peril. Dr. Elena Vasquez was no stranger to the void's whispers. As lead astronomer at the SETI Revival Project in the Chilean Andes, she spent her nights scanning the stars for signs of intelligent life. The project was a relic, funded more out of nostalgia than expectation. Decades of silence had turned it into a punchline among scientists. Listening for ghosts, they called it. But on that fateful night, the ghost spoke. It started as a glitch. The array's quantum processors hummed louder than usual, parsing a faint signal from the direction of the Orion arm. Elena rubbed her eyes, her coffee long gone cold. Another pulsar, she muttered to her assistant, Jamal, a lanky grad student with a penchant for conspiracy theories. No, document. This one's modulated. Structured bursts. It's artificial. Elena's heart skipped. They ran diagnostics, cross-referenced with known human transmissions. Nothing matched. By dawn, the signal was decoded, a looping message in an alien syntax, translated via AI linguistics into something resembling English. Distress. Catastrophic failure. Empire under siege. Coordinates enclosed. Aid requested. Repeat. Aid requested. The coordinates pointed to a star system 47 light-years away, Gliese 667, a red dwarf with habitable worlds. But the message wasn't meant for Earth. Linguistic anomalies suggested it was a broadcast error, a misfired plea from a galactic civilization that didn't know humans existed. Word spread like wildfire. The UED convened an emergency summit. Politicians debated, scientists speculated, military brass salivated. Was it a trap? A hoax? Or the real deal? Proof we weren't alone? Admiral Marcus Hale, a grizzled veteran of the lunar skirmishes, slammed his fist on the table. Doesn't matter if it's a mistake. They've called for help. We answer. But Admiral, protested Dr. Vasquez, invited as an expert, we don't know who they are. Their tech could be centuries ahead. We might be walking into a war we can't win. Hale's eyes gleamed. Or we win it for them. Humanity's been fighting since we crawled out of the mud. Time to show the stars what we're made of. The decision was made. Operation Echo. A fleet would be assembled. Earth's finest warships, retrofitted with experimental warp drives stolen from corporate black sites. Volunteers poured in. Soldiers seeking glory. Scientists chasing knowledge. Adventurers fleeing boredom. As preparations ramped up, Elena pored over the signal's metadata. Hidden layers revealed more. References to the swarm. A relentless enemy devouring worlds. The senders called themselves the Zorath Imperium, a vast alliance of species. Their distress was genuine, but the mistake? A navigation error in their hypercom array, broadcasting to the wrong sector. Earth's response was set. A message beamed back. Help is coming. Hold the line. But humanity didn't stop at words. They sent everything. The fleet launched 6 months later. The UED flagship Titan, a behemoth armed with railguns and antimatter torpedoes, escort carriers laden with drone swarms, colony ships repurposed as troop transports. 10,000 souls, Earth's best and brightest and deadliest. As the warp bubble engulfed them, Elena stood on the bridge, staring into the abyss. What if they don't want our kind of help? She whispered. Hale grinned. Then they'll learn to appreciate it. The journey took weeks in subjective time, years in real space, thanks to relativity hacks. When they emerged in Gliese 667, chaos awaited. The system was a battlefield. Zorath ships, elegant crystalline vessels, fled from grotesque bioforms. The swarm, insectoid horrors that burrowed into planets and spewed forth legions. The Titan hailed the nearest Zorath cruiser. This is humanity. We're here to assist. The response was panic-stricken. Who? How? This signal was not for primitives. Abort. The swarm will. Too late. Humanity had arrived. The battle began with precision strikes. Human drones, programmed with adaptive AI, danced through the void, evading swarm acid sprays and latching onto hulls. Railguns punched holes in chitinous armor, venting atmospheres into space. But the Zorath watched in horror. Humans didn't fight clean. They boarded enemy vessels, Marines in power armor carving through flesh with vibroblades and plasma rifles. No quarter given. Screams echoed over comms as swarm queens were vivisected for intel. Elena, monitoring from the Titan, received an encrypted burst from a Zorath diplomat. Your methods, barbaric. We sought aid, not monsters. She sighed. You called. We came. By the battle's end, the swarm vanguard was shattered. But word spread through the galaxy. A new player had entered the fray, and they fought like demons. The Zorath Imperium, grateful yet terrified, transmitted a galaxy-wide alert. Beware the humans. They answer calls not meant for them, and bring hell with them. But that was just the beginning. The human onslaught. The victory at Gliese 667 was Pyrrhic for the Zorath. Their fleets, once proud armadas of iridescent alloy, now limped alongside the battered human vessels. Admiral Hale's Titan loomed like a scarred predator among gazelles. The swarm had retreated, but not before infesting 2 habitable worlds in the system. Planetary sieges awaited. On the Zorath flagship Eternal Harmony, Grand Vizier Thaler, a tentacled being with bioluminescent skin, confronted the human delegation. Elena Vasquez led it, flanked by Marines whose eyes betrayed a hunger for more combat. You desecrated their queens, Thaler pulsed, his voice a melodic hum translated through implants. The swarm are a hive mind. Killing leaders sends ripples. They will adapt, come stronger. Hale, via hologram, barked a laugh. Good. Let M. We've got plenty of bullets. The Zorath recoiled. Their wars were ritualistic, precise, disabling foes with EMPs and negotiation drones. Humans? They scorched Earth. Literally. The first planetary assault showcased the difference. Zorath tactics, orbital bombardment to weaken hives, then surgical drops to extract survivors. Humans, nuke the site from orbit, Hale ordered. But Elena intervened. We need intel. Boots on ground. Thus began Operation Ground Pound. Dropships screamed through atmosphere, deploying regiments of Terran shock troops. Power armor hummed with kinetic shields. Exoskeletons amplified strength tenfold. Private Lena Kowalski, a veteran of Earth's gang wars, hit dirt first. The world, Zorath Prime 4, was a jungle hell, swarm tendrils choking ancient ruins. Bugs the size of tanks scuttled forth, mandibles dripping venom. Contact, she yelled, unleashing her Gauss rifle. Rounds punched through exoskeletons, exploding internals in gory sprays. Her squad advanced, flamethrowers purging nests. They found Zorath civilians huddled in bunkers, ethereal beings with fragile forms. Thank the stars, one whispered. But gratitude turned to shock as humans rigged explosives. Evac now, Kowalski ordered. We're collapsing the hive. The blast shook the continent, eradicating the infestation but leaving craters visible from space. Thaler protested via comms. You destroyed our heritage sites. Millennia of history. Hale's response, history's for winners. You want to lose. As assaults continued, humans unveiled more horrors. Biological weapons, tailored viruses from Earth's dark labs, melted swarm chitin. Drones equipped with nanites disassembled enemies atom by atom. Elena, analyzing samples, discovered the swarm's origin, an ancient bioweapon gone rogue, engineered by a long-extinct race. They're not evil, she reported. Just programmed to consume. Hale nodded. Then we'll reprogram M, with fire. Word of human ferocity spread. Galactic comms buzzed. The Kelvari Union, a federation of avian species, monitored from afar. These humans fight without honor, their elders chirped. The Draken hegemony, reptilian warriors, admired it. Finally, a worthy ally, or foe. But the mistake dawned on the Zorath. Their signal, intended for the peaceful ether concord, had reached these apes instead. The ether would have sent diplomats, healers. Humans sent apocalypse. Yet, results spoke. System secured, swarm routed. The fleet pressed on, following swarm trails to core worlds. En route, cultural clashes erupted. Zorath shared tech, faster than light comms, energy shields. Humans reciprocated with coffee, rock music, and poker nights. Zorath crew sampled human cuisine, spicy curries that burned their palates, and recoiled from tales of Earth's history, world wars, genocides, resurgences. Your survivors, Thaler admitted to Elena one cycle. But at what cost? She smiled sadly. All of them. The turning point came at the Nexus, a Zorath hub world under swarm siege. Billions at stake. Humans led the charge. Titan unleashed its main cannon, a singularity projector, warping space to crush swarm motherships. Ground forces deployed mechs, colossal walkers stomping hives flat. Marines used psyops, broadcasting human war chants, driving swarm drones mad with sonic overload. Victory was total, but as cleanup began, a swarm overlord broadcast a plea. Cease. We yield. Zorath hesitated. Negotiation possible? Humans? No survivors. Hale commanded. The galaxy watched via spy drones. Humans didn't conquer, they eradicated. Terror spread. What if they turn on us? Whispered empires. The signal's echo reverberated, a mistake that unleashed monsters' echoes of terror. With the Nexus liberated, the Zorath Imperium breathed relief, but unease festered. Humanity's aid had saved them, yet at a price. Worlds scarred, populations traumatized by the savagery. Grand Vizier Thaler convened a council with allied species, broadcasting holograms across light years. The humans are effective, he conceded. But their methods invoke the old horrors. They fight as if extinction is preferable to defeat. The Kelvari elder clacked her beak. We have monitored their broadcasts. Their history is blood-soaked. They wage war on their own kind. Draken warlord Grisk hissed approval. Precisely why we must ally. Or prepare. Meanwhile, on the Titan, celebrations raged. Beer flowed in zero-G, toasts to fallen comrades. Admiral Hale addressed the crew. We've shown the stars humanity's spine. But this ain't over. The swarm's core awaits. Elena Vasquez, poring over galactic maps, uncovered the truth. The distress signal's misfire wasn't random, it was sabotage. A Zorath faction, disillusioned with imperial pacifism, had redirected it to Earth, hoping for a wild card. Confronting Thaler privately, she demanded answers. You used us. His tendrils dimmed. Not I, radicals. They saw our decline. Your arrival exceeded expectations. Exceeded? We're butchers in your eyes. Effective butchers. The fleet advanced to the swarm's origin, the Void Nebula, a maelstrom of dark matter hiding their hive world. En route, first contact with other species occurred. A Kelvari scout fleet intercepted, demanding parley. Their ambassador, a feathered diplomat named Lyra, boarded the Titan. You interfere in affairs beyond your ken. Withdraw. Hale laughed. We're here to end the swarm. Join or move. Lyra's eyes widened at human armaments, racks of nukes, bioweapons labs. You would poison stars. If it saves M. Negotiations failed. Kelvari fired warning shots, phased beams glancing off shields. Humans retaliated, a single torpedo, embedding in the lead ship, deploying boarding pods. Marines stormed, subduing crew with stun rounds. No kills, yet. We could have vaporized you, Hale messaged. Consider this mercy. The Kelvari fleet retreated, broadcasting galaxy-wide. Beware the humans. They claim aid, but bring domination. Panic ensued. Empires mobilized. The Ether Concord, the intended recipients, sent envoys, ethereal energy beings offering peace. But humans pressed on. Entering the nebula, sensors screamed. Swarm armadas converged, trillions of bioforms. The battle was apocalyptic. Human ships formed a phalanx, unleashing hellfire. Antimatter blooms lit the void. Drones kamikazed into hives. On the hive world, dropships pierced atmosphere. Troops faced nightmares. Colossal guardians, acid oceans, psychic assaults. But humans adapted. Psi-shields from Zorath Tech blocked mind attacks. Gene-modded soldiers shrugged off toxins. Private Kowalski led a strike team to the Core Queen. Through tunnels of flesh, they fought. Chainsaws revving, grenades popping. The Queen, a mountain of intellect, pleaded telepathically. We consume to survive. Mercy. Kowalski's response, a thermite charge to the brain. The hive collapsed. Swarm forces fragmented, leaderless. Victory declared, but the galaxy reeled. Human broadcasts, unfiltered war footage, circulated. Marines laughing amid carnage. Ships named Vengeance and Armageddon. They enjoy it, whispered observers. Alliances fractured. Some sought human protection, others plotted preemption. Elena, reflecting, messaged Earth, "We've won a war," but sparked 1,000 fears. Hill's reply, "Good. Fear keeps him honest." The mistaken signal had birthed a legend. Humanity, the galaxy's terrifying saviors, the galaxy's reckoning. In the aftermath, the Zorath Imperium hailed humanity as heroes, publicly. Privately, they quarantined shared tech, fearing reverse engineering. Admiral Hale's fleet returned to Gliese 667 as a staging ground. Colony ships arrived from Earth, establishing outposts. Humanity's foothold, Hale proclaimed. But ripples spread. The Draken hegemony challenged, a ritual duel to test mettle. Human champions accepted. In neutral space, mechs clashed. Draken warriors, scaled behemoths, wielded energy lances. Humans? Improvised. A pilot jury-rigged a fusion core overload, vaporizing the arena, but sparing lives. Victory by ingenuity, Hale boasted. Drakens bowed. Allies then. Conversely, the Kelvari plotted. Assassins infiltrated human ships, subtle poisons, hacks. But human paranoia prevailed. AI sentinels detected, countered with non-lethal traps. Captured assassins were interrogated, humanely, then released with messages, "Try again. We dare you." Terror amplified. Galactic forums buzzed. They anticipate everything. Evolve and battle. Elena Vasquez became Earth's ambassador, bridging divides. She addressed the Galactic Assembly, a virtual nexus of species. The signal was a mistake, she admitted. But our response was deliberate. Humanity aids allies, crushes foes. Choose wisely. Applause from warriors, silence from pacifists. Yet, internal strife brewed. Some humans decried the violence. Pacifist factions back home protested. We're becoming the monsters they fear. Hale quashed it. Survival demands strength. The climax came when remnants of the swarm allied with rogue empires, launching a counteroffensive. A massive fleet assaulted human colonies. Zorath hesitated. Humans didn't. Operation Retribution. Wormhole jumps ambushed invaders. Nuclear mines in asteroid fields. Psywar broadcasts sowing dissent. In the final clash, Titan faced the enemy flagship, a colossal swarm Kelvari hybrid. Boarding parties swarmed. Hale led personally, vibrasword in hand. Amid chaos, he confronted the Kelvari admiral. "Why fight us? We ended the swarm." "You are the new swarm," the admiral spat. "Consuming with help." Hale paused. "Maybe, but we build too." The admiral yielded. Peace terms, integration or exile. The galaxy submitted. Treaties signed, humans at the table, not as primitives, but equals. Feared equals. Years later, Elena reflected in her memoirs. The mistaken signal unveiled us. What we sent back. Ourselves, raw, relentless. The galaxy trembled, but perhaps that's how alliances forge, in fire. Humanity thrived, exploring, innovating. The stars, once silent, now echoed with HFY tales. But whispers lingered. What if another signal comes? What horrors will they unleash next?